Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kindred Varsity Field. It's a beautiful day for some baseball. We have American Legion baseball for you. DGF Post 397 is in town to take on the Kindred Vikings, Post 117. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening.
And we're bringing you again American Legion baseball live from Kindred Varsity Field. DGF is just finishing up their infield-outfield drills. Kindred's already done those. We'll start tonight. We'll bring you the starting lineups. We'll start with DGF Post 397. Head coach is Al Kruger, assisted by Jesse Rosted. Kruger's lineup looks like this. Leading off and playing in center field, Alex Anderson. Batting second and playing at first base is Dylan Anderson. Pitching and batting third is Landon Johnson. And batting cleanup in the designated hitter role is Wes Hoover. Batting fifth and playing at shortstop is Kaysen Berge. And batting sixth is the left fielder, Tanner Cadwell. Batting seventh and catching, Jace Baumgartner. And batting eighth is the right fielder, Zayner Deutsch. And batting ninth, second baseman, Camden Schreiber. And the designated hitter is batting for the third baseman, so number 27, Jack Seidler, will be out at third base. So it looks like this: Anderson, Johnson, Hoover, Berge, Cadwell, Baumgartner, Deutsch, Schreiber, with Seidler playing at third base. That's your lineup for DGF. Coaches are out on the field. I see Coach Josh Almaris brought his son Teddy out there to exchange lineups with the umpires. Teddy's wearing number 10 out there. Here's Josh Almaris' lineup. He's assisted by Coach Nick Eggman and Coach Dean Wixo. Batting first and playing in center field will be Brady Baumgarten. Batting second is the right fielder, Carson Getty. Batting third and catching is Sawyer Hess. Batting cleanup and playing at shortstop is Stanley Belaski. Batting fifth and pitching will be Kylan Swenson. Batting sixth and playing at first base, Max Bernier. Batting seventh and playing third base, Dylan Stone. Batting eighth and playing at second base, Andy Trom. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Jack McDonald. Looks like this: Baumgarten, Getty, Hess, Belaski, Swenson, Bernier, Stone, Trom, and McDonald. So again, I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier. These two teams met up down at the Dakota Classic down in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, we drove all the way down there just to play DGF, and it was a fun tournament, and I know the boys had a lot of fun. It was a great trip.
For the Vikings, DGF did kind of take it to the Vikings a little bit in that tournament. They won by a score of 13-1. Kaysen Berge got the win on the mound for DGF, and they come away victorious in that first game. The first game we played down there, it was kind of like funny, like what Wendy said. We traveled down to Sioux Falls, and here we're playing DGF. But we're playing them again here, and these two teams usually schedule, they flip-flop years, they schedule an exhibition game. This is a non-counter for each league, of course, DGF being in Minnesota and the Kindred Vikings, of course, being in North Dakota. So this is a non-counter game, but we're set to have a lot of fun as we are about to announce the lineups here coming up. So it's DGF Post 397 and the Kindred Vikings Post 117. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back after this on yourliveevent.com.
In this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
DGF post 397 in town to face the Kindred Vikings post 117. Again, Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier, and we got a lot of baseball action this week.
We do, and it's a beautiful night tonight. It is 71 degrees here at the ballpark with a light breeze going from right field to left field. And I know the concession stand, the burgers are getting grilled up, and there's ice cream to be eaten, so it's a great night at the ballpark, and still time to get out here.
Last time we did a broadcast, Greg Kramer was up here and ice cream was delivered. Man, that was good.
I heard that. I was listening to that. Every variety was tried out in the press box, but it got great reviews. I know the PA told the crowd that it was good reviews all around.
Absolutely awesome. And yeah, we have an order put in for some cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers are always outstanding at a concession stand here. The Kindred Vikings bring a 4-8 record into tonight's ball game. And again, Kylan Swenson gets the start on the mound for the Vikings after taking a week hiatus last week. He did get a chance to play in the Shrine Bowl last week.
Yeah, I don't know all the details about it, but I know Hunter did good. I heard he got an interception. I haven't heard any results about Kylan or Isaac, but I did see some pictures. Proud Mamas posted some pictures, and it looked like a lot of fun. And it was hot when they played, too, so I'm interested to hear their reviews about it. But congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. A great honor. It was Isaac Spellhaug and Hunter Bindus and Kylan Swenson that got a chance to play from Kindred in that Shrine Bowl up at Mayville State. So a lot of fun, and Kylan Swenson will take the mound today. Kylan, his battery mate will be Sawyer Hess tonight.
Which is a little bit of a change-up because usually the other Hess brother is behind the plate catching, but little change-up tonight, get Sawyer a little more practice at catching.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with First Pitch on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search Your Live Event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field, where Legion Kindred is taking on DGF this evening.
We're getting ready to play some baseball. Kylan Swenson taking his warm-ups on the field at Kindred Varsity Field. The field looks absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, and they just finished that national anthem courtesy of the high school choir. Man, they sound good every time I hear them. If you ever get a chance to listen to that in person, I know they do it at basketball games. It's worth it. So worth it.
Alex Anderson will lead it off for DGF. Here's the first pitch from Kylan Swenson. Popped high in the air, left side of the infield. Shortstop Stanley Belaski takes charge, makes a catch. One pitch, one out, and we are underway. That'll bring up Dylan Anderson, the first baseman. Just getting going. Like Wendy said earlier, the wind is blowing from right foul pole to left foul pole, so the wind will carry out the ball to left field and to center, kind of knock it down to right field.
14 miles an hour to be exact.
First pitch to Dylan Anderson, left-handed hitter, is a ball. Here's the set, here's the pitch. Fastball's a ball. Kylan Swenson throwing to his catcher, Sawyer Hess. 2-0 the count. Here's the set, here's the pitch. Fastball up, 3 balls, no strikes. Max Bernier playing at first base. Andy Traum at second. Stanley Belaski at short. Dylan Stone over at third base. Here's the pitch. He walked him. 4 pitches to round out the defense for the Vikings. Jack McDonald is out in left field. Brady Baumgarten in center, and Carson Getty in right field. First base runner for either team, just getting underway, top of the first inning. Here's a pitch from Swenson in there for a strike to Landon Johnson. Landon Johnson is on the mound tonight for DGF. And here's the pitch. Fastball popped up over the press box. That'll be out of play. Max Bernier gives chase, but it's on top of the press box. 0-2 the count. Swenson looks in, gets his sign from his catcher, Sawyer Hess. Out of the stretch. Off speed is way outside. I wouldn't call it one of those eephus pitches, but a very slow breaking ball thrown by Swenson to try to upset the timing of the hitter. 1-2 the count. Here's a pitch. Fastball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Sawyer Hess. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 set. And the pitch. Off speed up. Throw down to second base. They got him. He's thrown out stealing. Sawyer Hess throws out the base runner. A caught stealing. 2-4. Sawyer Hess to Andy Traum for the second out of the inning. The pitch missed for a ball, so it's not a strike him out, throw him out. Full count. Here's a full count pitch from Swenson. Throwing out of the stretch anyway. Fouled up in the air. Swenson calls for it and makes the catch. Normally you don't want your pitcher making those plays, but it wasn't high enough in the air, and Swenson was able to run it down.
Yeah, he did. Good job.
So he was the only one that really could have made that play. So it's a pop-up to the pitcher, and the DGF goes down 1-2-3 despite having a walk, but he's thrown out stealing. So at the end of a half an inning, we head to the bottom of the first inning. It's 0-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? from office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Bottom of the first inning, Kindred Vikings coming to bat for the first time. It'll be Brady Baumgarten, Carson Getty, and Sawyer Hess to bat against a starting pitcher, Landon Johnson. Right-handed pitcher, throwing for DGF. His catcher is Jace Baumgartner. So the Vikings coming up. Kylan Swenson did face the minimum in the first inning despite giving up a walk. So just getting started, bottom of the first inning. Brady Baumgarten, the center fielder, followed by Carson Getty, Sawyer Hess. Brady Baumgarten, right-handed hitter, wears #1, having a nice season. Brady's got some speed, so if he can get aboard.
And he's got some passion too. That kid's always, I take a lot of pictures around here, and he's always got a smile and some excitement in his face. He's a pretty photogenic kid.
Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball laced out to the shortstop. That's Berge. He's got it. Long throw over first base. They call him safe.
He had to jump for that one a little bit.
I think he said the first baseman was off the bag. Either way, he's safe. It's going to be an error, I believe, on the shortstop. We'll call it E6 because the throw took the first baseman.
Yeah, he had to jump up for it.
Yeah, Anderson had to jump just a hair, and that was enough. And Brady Baumgarten is safe. Carson Getty, the batter. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and in. Ball 1. Brady's got some speed, like we mentioned. Throw over to first base is close. Just missed him. Landon Johnson with a nice quick move. Showing the A move right away. Almost picked off Baumgarten. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Fastball up. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball grounded towards the hole. That's going to be through for a base hit on the right side. Baumgarten's going to stop at second base. Great job by Carson Getty because the hole with Anderson covering at first base, big hole on the right side, and Getty just smacked a ground ball right in the hole between first base and second base. First hit for either team. Baumgarten reach on the error. Carson Getty now singles, runners on first and second, nobody out. Here's a pitch, fastball, laced down the left field line, foul. Sawyer hit it hard. Sawyer Hess, the catcher, laced it down the left field line. Strike 1. I don't think you're having Sawyer bunt here to move the runners over. I think you're swinging away. He just showed why by smashing that ball down the left field line.
Sawyer had a great time down at that tournament, Dakota Classic, when we went down south too. He hit for the cycle in one of those games. Not against DGF, but good time down there.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball popped foul. Sawyer did hit a home run in that game.
Did he? Yeah. I can't remember. They all blend together pretty soon, but I did that cycle in that last game before we came home. That was a memorable moment for a lot of folks.
Here's a 1-2 set by the pitcher, Landon Johnson. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He goes down on strikes. One out. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 0, Stanley Belaski. Belaski and Andy Schramm are super seniors, meaning they're young enough to play another year of Legion ball after their senior year. Here's a set by Johnson. Fastball popped in the air, fouled on the right field line.
Yeah, they and a couple teammates made the trek after that Dakota Classic down to Omaha to watch some of that Omaha baseball going on in the World Series. Yeah, somebody out of the dugouts bringing that ball back to them.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball is in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes, the count. 1 down, runners on first and second. Stanley Bilaski, wide open stance. Breaking ball is away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kylan Swenson on deck. And here's a 1-2 set, and the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Landon Johnson. That brings up Kylan Swenson. Kylan getting his first at-bat in quite some time. We mentioned playing in the Shrine Bowl. That involved going up to Mayville State and practicing all week, so we missed some games last week. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball up. Ball 1. Max Bernier on deck. Landon Johnson throwing out of the stretch. Where's number 17? Looks back at the runners. Here's a pitch. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Hitters count. Here's a pitch. Fastball is up. 3 balls and no strikes.
Kylan's got a bit of a reputation for getting hit with that baseball, so he ducks just a little bit on that one.
Here's a 3-0 set. And the pitch. Fastball. That's in there for a strike. The umpires for tonight's ball game behind the plate is Josh Michelson, and out on the bases is Gareth Hansen. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball down low. He walked him. Bases are loaded. First walk issued by Larson. That brings up Max Bernier, first baseman.
No pressure here.
Bottom of the first inning. Landon Johnson has thrown 17 pitches. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Johnson working ahead. Johnson steps off the rubber. Collects himself. Gets a sign from his catcher. Dylan Stone on deck. Here's the pitch. Down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Max trying to change the score. Johnson trying not to let him. Here's a pitch. Swing and a foul. Good hack by Bernier. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2 set. Big pitch coming up. Here it is from Johnson. Off speed is in there for a strike. Bernier goes down looking. And that ends the inning. Vikings do come up with a hit. They leave 3 runners aboard at the end of 1. We're tied at 0 on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
And we're back. We head to the top of the second inning. DGF will send Wes Hoover, Kason Berge, and Tanner Cadwell to bat.
Just a reminder, when this game is over, we will have the Todd Wold CPA post-game show, which will include the player of the game from courtesy of Enbridge and the HTC connection of the match. Thank you to those sponsors.
Wes Hoover, the designated hitter, bats, swings and misses at the first pitch from Kylan Swenson. 0-1 the count. Wes Hoover, the DH, wears number 6, right-handed batter. Here's a set, here's a pitch, fastball laced in the gap in right center field. This ball's hit pretty hard. Getty on the run, makes the catch. Made it look easy out there. This outfield, with Carson Getty out in right field, Brady Baumgarten in center. A lot of times Kylan Swenson's playing left field, and tonight we have Jack McDonald out there. All 4 of those guys can run and track down a lot of baseballs.
Well, in last game, too, Carson had some amazing catches, leaping catches for that ball.
One of those very slow breaking balls is over for a strike to the shortstop, Kason Berge. Berge got the win in the game down in Sioux Falls where they faced Kindred. Did he call the first pitch a ball? Okay, I guess it's 2-0. Here's a high pop fly right side of the infield. Andy Traum calls off Max Bernier and makes a catch, and there's 2 down. Good job of Traum by taking charge because it was an awkward play for Max. Long run for Getty out and right. So Traum took charge and made the catch. Made it look easy, 2 down.
Yeah, good communication. I can hear Andy from up here, so that's a good sign.
Tanner Cadwell to bat. He's a left fielder. Here's the off-speed pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Kylan has thrown 17 pitches thus far. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Grounded hard foul into the first base dugout fence area. 0-2 the count. I'm really glad that he didn't elevate that one because that might have came right at my nose. I was ill-prepared to make any stops. Here's the 0-2 swing and a high fly ball into center field. Brady Baumgarten's out there. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for DGF. And at the end of 1.5, we head to the bottom of the second inning. It's tied at 0. Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
County needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
We head to the bottom of the second inning. Kindred Vikings will send up the 7, 8, 9 hitters. It'll be Dylan Stone, followed by Andy Traum and Jack McDonald against the starting pitcher, Landon Johnson. Landon Johnson left the bases loaded against the Vikings. He struck out Max Bernier to end that inning. He allowed a ground ball, and Baumgarten reached on an error. Getty singled, a couple strikeouts in a row, then Kylan Swenson walked, then another strikeout. That ended the inning.
Yeah, we're moving right along here at Kindred Varsity Field.
Kylan Swenson for the Vikings has only thrown 19 pitches through 2 innings. Landon Johnson, this will be pitch number 22. It's a fastball down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Dylan Stone, the batter, playing over at third base tonight. And here's a pitch. Fastball fouled off his bat. He didn't mean to hit it.
No, he did not.
Didn't mean to swing, would rather that was a ball. But it hit his bat. It's a foul ball. Fastball up and in. Johnson throws out of the complete windup. Here's the pitch. Off speed, swung on and missed by Stone. Nice pitch by Landon Johnson. Kind of a slower off-speed breaking ball down and away. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball in there for strike 3. 4 strikeouts now for Johnson. 2 swinging, 2 looking. So he's recorded all the outs, all 4 on strikeouts. That'll bring up Andy Traum, playing at second base tonight. Looking to get things going for the Vikings. Right-handed hitter. And the fastball is outside, ball 1. No runs, no hits, 1 error for DGF, and for Kindred, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Here's the set, here's a pitch, fastball swinging, laced into right field. And Deutsch is out there, the left-handed fielder, makes the catch, hard hit ball for Andy Traum, and there's 2 away. Jack McDonald steps up, playing in left field tonight. Again, this is a non-counter, not a league game for either team, obviously. DGF being in Minnesota, Vikings being, of course, in North Dakota. Off-speed breaking ball is away, ball 1. Just a chance to play some more baseball on a beautiful evening. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the order, and Brady Baumgarten on deck.
This Kindred varsity team will play again on Thursday, and that will be a counter game against the Fargo Jets.
Here's a swing and a foul.
That will be 2 games, actually. The first one starts at 5:30. So come on out. There's not a bad seat in this house.
Here's a 2-1. Fastball down low, 3 balls and a strike.
Hey, 6, get that speed on the bases. Let's go.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball laced up the middle, base hit. Second hit for the Vikings. Jack McDonald takes a 3-1 fastball, laces it up the middle for a single. Back to the top of the order, Brady Baumgarten. Baumgarten grounded one out to short, and Berge, the shortstop, threw his ball a little bit high, took the first baseman Anderson off the bag just a hair. That was enough for Baumgarten to reach on the air. Here's a pitch, fastball, outside and low, ball 1. If you're just joining us for this broadcast, where the camera view is, that's our view as well. The first base press box is down the first base line. Swinging in a foul at the plate. High pitch, high fastball. Baumgarten went after it, got the bat to it, but fouled it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carson Getty on deck. Throw over to first base is not in time. McDonald gets back. Here's a 1-1. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Runner goes. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Nice slide by Jack McDonald. Kind of went to the inside part of the bag and slid head first and got that stolen base. Nice throw from the catcher, Jace Baumgartner. But a better slide by McDonald. He's safe. Runner in scoring position, 1-2 count. Here's a pitch, fastball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 set. Johnson kicks and fires, fastball down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First base is open, so a walk wouldn't be the end of the world for Johnson. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball grounded out to the shortstop. Berge has it, throws on to first base in time for the out. And that'll do it for the Vikings in the bottom of the second inning. A 6-3 put out. Vikings do get a hit. They strand one batter. We head to the top of the third on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Kylan Swenson has faced a minimum so far. He did walk a batter, but he was thrown out stealing. Top of the third inning, he'll face the catcher, Jace Baumgartner, right fielder, Zainer Deutsch, and the second baseman, Camden Schreiber. Kylan Swenson is ready to pitch, and there's no batter out there. The umpire, the catcher, the pitcher, everybody kind of staring over to the dugout.
There he comes.
But Jace Baumgartner is the catcher, so he had to take off all of his gear, find his batting gloves, find his helmet, find his bat.
I think that's just how it goes with most teenage boys, right? Find your shoes, find your gloves, find your bat.
First pitch to him is a fastball up, ball one. Catcher's equipment is usually scattered all over the dugout, never ever seems to be where you left it. Here's a pitch that's upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Jace Baumgartner, right-handed hitter, wears number 16. Here's a pitch, fastball, swinging foul to the screen. Good crowd in Kindred.
There are quite a few people out here, and you can. There's not a bad seat in the house. Like I said, you can go down third baseline or down first baseline. There's a couple people down that way too.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Looked like a breaking ball down. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's a pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Count is full. Here's a set. And the pitch from Swenson. Fastball, swinging a ground ball, chopped out to the shortstop, Belaski. Fires on to first base in time. Bernier is there to make the catch, and there's 1 away.
Number 1 brings up number 31, right fielder, Sander.
5 in a row set down by Kylan Swenson. Zainer Deutsch, the batter. Right fielder, left-handed hitter, wears number 31. Swing and a miss. The first pitch from Kylan Swenson. Camden Schreiber again on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed. Slow. Away. Misses for ball 1. And the pitch, fastball up, 2 balls and a strike. Outfield playing straight away. Here's a pitch. It's up. 3 balls and a strike. Maybe the outfield is playing slightly to pull out there for the left-handed hitter. Here's a pitch, fastball in there, strike 2. Here's a pitch from Swenson, swinging a high pop fly, left side of the infield. Belaski calls for it, and again, the middle infielders taking charge out there like they should and making the plays out there. So it's a pop up to the shortstop. Second out of the inning, 6 in a row set down by Swenson. That'll bring up Camden Schreiber, second baseman. Here's a pitch from Swenson. Fastball is up, ball 1. He wears number 2 on my scorecard. On my book, I wrote down C. That is not his number. It's number 2. Thankfully, I have an eraser. Yeah.
Yeah, you have erasers and pencil sharpeners. You have all the things you need thanks to the press box crew. They hooked you up.
Yep, everybody's taking care of me like everybody does in Kindred. So 3-0 count. Here's a pitch from Swenson. Fastball is up. He walked him on 4 pitches. Second walk issued by Swenson. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Center fielder Alex Anderson. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to the shortstop Belaski back in the first. 2 down, man on first base.
And Coach Almaris being sure to shout out some instructions and making sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do.
And here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a strike.
Good mix. Good mix, dudes.
I said fastball, but it looked like more of like a slider or something like that. Here's the 0-1 set from Swenson. Fastball laced down the left field line. This is trouble. Down for a hit. McDonald cuts it off, and he'll hold the runner at second base. Nice job by McDonald out in left field. Line drive single for Alex Anderson. First hit for DGF. Puts runners on first and second base, and that'll bring up Dylan Anderson. He walked his first time up.
And
Coach Almaris heading up to the mound.
Headed out to the mound, yep.
Wants to talk to his infield and pitcher here just to talk things over.
Yeah, he was pretty vocal before that last hitter. So wants to go out there and make sure everybody's focused up on what they need to do next.
So it's no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for DGF. Kindred with no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. A non-counter game as the umpire, Josh Michelson, will walk out to kind of break up this little conversation up there, but he doesn't need to get all the way up there before it's broken up.
Yeah, Mr. Michelson is a history teacher to some of these Kindred boys at some point or another in their high school career.
And I tell you what, cheeseburgers were just delivered up here. Here's a pitch to Dylan Anderson. It's chopped out in front of the plate. Kylan Swenson makes a play, so 1 pitch, and he gets out of the inning. A 1-3 putout, throws it over to Bernier for the 3rd out of the inning. So for DGF, they strand a couple of runners. They do come up with a hit, but no runs. At the end of 2.5, we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 0-0 on yourliveevent.com.
And we'll head into a break so you can enjoy that cheeseburger that just showed up.
Absolutely.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Batting for the Kindred Vikings in the bottom of the 3rd inning will be right fielder Carson Getty, catcher Sawyer Hess, and shortstop Stanley Belaski. 0-0 score, bottom of 3. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for DGF. Kindred, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Carson Getty to bat. He's 1 for 1. Had a hard ground ball single to right field. His first time up, takes strike 1.
Bottom of 3rd, you said, right?
That is correct.
All right, making sure all my buttons are synced up.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball, down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's a 1-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball.
Oh.
And a ball gets away down to the bullpen. Yeah, Jack McDonald is warming up in the pen. from my understanding, from what I overheard, they're trying to keep Kylan Swenson under 45 pitches so he could pitch in the next couple of days. So we might see a barrage of pitchers today. Here's the 1-2 off speed, roped into right field. Hard hit single for Carson Getty once again. He's 2 for 2.
Deja vu for Getty, back across the right side for a hit.
Leadoff single for the Vikings, third hit. 2 of them by Getty. Brings up Sawyer Hess. He struck out swinging his first time up. Here's the set. And the pitch. It's a fastball hit high in the air to left field. This ball's hit pretty well. Back it goes. If it's fair, it's gone. It is fair, and it is gone. A 2-run home run by Sawyer Hess gives the Vikings a 2-0 lead. And what a bomb down the left field line for Sawyer Hess. He hit that ball hard. The second homer against this DGF team this season.
And his teammates are headed out to the home plate to greet him at home plate, give him a high five, tap the hats, and say, good job, Sawyer. Little dance and a little song from Mandy Trom.
And how about Eric Iverson running the music, and the scoreboard breaks out the organ music.
He was on it. Yeah, he was
all
on
over it. 2-run home run for Sawyer Hess. Brings up Stanley Belaski, struck out his first time up. That was a high blast to left field, and the way the left fielder reacted right away, it looked like he had it, but then he just kind of stopped and realized there's no way I'm going to catch that. Hit into the evergreen down the left field line. It's 325 feet down the left field line. Hess got all of that one. Here's a 2-0 pitch, hard ground ball over to third base. Seidler has it, fires across the diamond in time. Anderson there to make the catch, and it's a 5-3 putout, one away. Two-run bomb for Sawyer Hess, 2-0 lead. That'll bring up Kylan Swenson. He walked his first time up, was stranded at first base. That was in the first inning. Here's a pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. Here's the set and the pitch from number 17. Kicks and fires, fastball fouled away. Landon Johnson on the mound for DGF. He's thrown a good ball game thus far. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Off speed is in there for a strike. Max Bernier on deck. Here's the set and the pitch. Off speed, grounded out towards short. Berge fields it, throws on the run, not in time. Oh, they're going to call him out. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, you anticipated that one. You better wait for the umpire.
So that was actually a very good play by Berge. He fielded it on the run, threw on the run. He threw low, scooped out of the dirt by Anderson nicely, and the out's recorded on a 6-3 putout, 2 away.
And another ball did escape the bullpen over there from Jack. Here they come in now.
There's a hard ground ball over to third. Seidler has it. He fires over to first base in time for the out. Max Bernier out on a pitch. It's a 5-3 putout. But the Vikings come up with 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Sawyer Hess, and they have a 2-0 lead heading into the top of the 4th inning on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
We have ourselves a pitching change. Jack McDonald will come on to pitch. It's a straight switch. He was playing left field. Kylan Swenson will go from pitcher to left field. Kylan Swenson did throw 2 innings in this ball game. Allowed just 1 hit, no runs. And he walked a couple of batters. And didn't strike out anybody. So 2 innings of shutout baseball. Jack McDonald coming on to pitch. In this day and age, we got to worry about the pitch count, so they're trying to keep Kylan under that 45 so he could pitch in over the next couple of days. If you throw too many pitches, then you have to worry about giving days off in a row. So that's why the pitching changed. Jack McDonald comes on to pitch.
Yeah, so far the big game's been moving right along.
2-0 lead for the Vikings, thanks to a 2-run bomb by Sawyer Hest on the left field line.
Sawyer and Jack had a little convention out there, getting their game plan together.
It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters: Landon Johnson, Wes Hoover, and Kaysen Berge. First pitch from Jack McDonald misses, ball 1. Landon Johnson, the pitcher, he popped up to the pitcher his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Fastball up, 2 balls, no strikes.
Take a breath. You're good.
Here's a 2-0, grounded foul down the third baseline. Strike 1. Here's a pitch. It's outside and in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Number 6, Jack McDonald. And here's a 3-1. Fastball. Misses outside. He walked it. Leadoff walk. That'll bring up Wes Hoover. He flew out to right field. Long running catch for Carson Getty out in right field towards the gap. So Hoover's 0 for 1, DHing tonight. Hit the ball a long ways, but again, Carson Getty tracked it down. Here's a pitch. Looks like a slider over for a strike.
Coach Eggman hollering out from the dugout, making sure everybody knows where to go and what's going on.
Here's a set, and the pitch. Fastball is up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Max Bernier holding on the runner over at first base in Landon Johnson. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Fastball popped foul and out of play. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
And that one did go over the press box and out of the ballpark over by the batting cages.
Here's a 1-2 set. And the pitch for McDonald. Slider grounded out towards second. Belaski fields it, throws over to first base, and completes the 6-6-3 double play. So it's a double play. And quickly, there's 2 outs. So a leadoff walk is erased by the 6-6-3 double play. Belaski fields it, steps on the bag, fires across to Max Bernier in time to complete the double play. 2 down. Kaysen Berge, the batter.
Yeah, Stanley had a fun little spin on that one, stepping on the base and throwing it over.
Yeah, he fielded the ball in front of the bag, and then he kind of had to do a little twisty motion to make the throw over to Bernier.
Hey, you're up now. Dictate.
Kaysen Berge, the batter, he's 0 for 1. He popped out to second his first time up, down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Slider away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's a 1-2. Fastball laced up the middle, base hit. Kaysen Berge with a single. Hard hit single up the middle. That'll bring up Tanner Cadwell, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center fielder Brady Baumgarten. That was to end the second inning. 2 down, runner on first base. Jack McDonald on the mound. Kicks and fires, fastball in there, strike 1. Jace Baumgartner, the catcher, on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Looked like a slider low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's McDonald looking in. Kicks and fires. Fastball is bunted, foul. Obviously trying to bunt for a hit. Third baseman Dylan Stone was playing back. Obviously with 2 outs, you're not going to sacrifice bunt here. So he's trying to bunt him his way on with a little bunt down the third base line.
Obvious to you. I didn't know what was going on. No.
But it went foul. It's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from McDonald. Off speed, swing and a miss, strike 3. He struck him out, and that ends the inning. For DGF in the top of the 4th inning, they do get a hit. They strand 1 runner, come up with no runs at the end of 3 1/2. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 lead for the Kindred Vikings, and they're coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Kindred Vikings lead at 2-0. They'll send Dylan Stone, Andy Trom, and Jack McDonald to the plate. First pitch from Landon Johnson misses to Dylan Stone. Ball 1. Here's a fastball. That one's up. 2 balls and no strikes. 52 pitches now for Johnson. Here's a set. Out of the full windup. Fastball is upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. And here's a pitch. That one's over. Strike 1. And here's a pitch from Landon Johnson. Fastball misses, ball 4. And Dylan Stone has himself a leadoff walk.
Number 10, second baseman, Andy Trout.
That'll bring up Andy Trom. He lined out to right field this first time up. Hit the ball hard, but right at the right field. And here's the set and the pitch. Fastball down. Ball 1. Andy Trom did show bunt, trying to move the runner up. Didn't offer at it. Pitches a ball. And here's the pitch. Shows bunt again. Takes it upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's see if Coach Josh Almaris still has a bunt on. Count is 2-0 after a leadoff walk. Might see him swinging away here, or just simply taking a pitch to see if Johnson can throw a strike. Instead of sacrificing the runner over, you just walk to first base and move him up to second base that way. Looked like he was going to hack at that pitch. Took a ball upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. The count to Andy Trom. Jack McDonald on deck. I don't think you bunt here either. I'm sure Andy Trom's taking a pitch. Here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Now maybe a bunt. Depending on your philosophy, 3-1 count. You might have Andy Trom, the super senior, hacking away here. Hit the ball hard his first time up. Throw over first base is not in time. Stone is back. is showing bunt. Here's the pitch. Fastball's way upstairs. He walked him. Stone will reach second base. The ball does go to the screen, but not far enough for Stone to advance to third base.
Strong draws a walk. Stone to second. That brings up number 6, left fielder, Jack McDonald.
So I think if you're bunting with nobody out and a runner on first, I got to think you're laying down a bunt here. So Jack McDonald did lace a single up the middle his first time. He's 1 for 1. Let's see if he shows bunt to move the runners into scoring position. Johnson out of the stretch. He is showing bunt. Takes a pitch outside. Ball 1. Johnson coming into this inning had only walked 1 batter. Now he's walked the first 2 batters at his face. Has a 1-0 count. Jack McDonald batting. Here's a pitch, shows bunt, and he bunts it down. It's a good bunt. Pitcher Johnson fields it, fires onto first base, not in time. It's a bunt single for Jack McDonald. That loads up the bases. Stone over to third, Tram up to second base, but a great bunt by Jack McDonald. He's just purposely trying to give himself up to move the runners up, but he laid down a great bunt. Johnson fielded it cleanly, fired across to first base, but it was just well-placed bunt, and like we mentioned earlier, McDonald can run. So an infield single, 5 hits now for the Vikings. And back to the top of the order. Pitches upstairs, ball 1. Brady Baumgarten, the batter. He's 0 for 2. He reached on an air and grounded out. Both balls were grounders to the shortstop. Here's the pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Jace Baumgartner. Baumgartner is the catcher. Baumgarten is the batter for the Vikings. 2-0 count. And here's the pitch. Fastball swinging a high drive into center field. This ball's hit pretty well. The center fielder is going to track it down and make the catch. Does Anderson out in center field, and the run will score. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Brady Baumgarten to center field. He gets a run batted in. First out of the inning. Stone scores. Trom moves up to third base. Jack McDonald stays put on first. So a big run on a sacrifice fly by Brady Baumgarten. He hit it hard, gave it a ride, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, that wind coming out of right field, I thought maybe it would move the ball enough that the runner, that center fielder couldn't quite get to it, but he did a good job, got over to it.
Anderson, the center fielder, tracked it down. That brings up Carson Getty. He's 2 for 2 with 2 hard smashes on the right side. McDonald goes. There will be no throw. Stolen base for Jack McDonald, his second stolen base of the ballgame. Now there's runners on second and third with 1 out. 1 run already in. 1-0 count to Carson Getty. Here's a pitch from Johnson. Fastball ripped into right center field. Caught again by the center fielder Anderson. There's going to be a play at third, and he is safe. And the run's going to score. Anderson alertly throwing to third base instead of home. Almost got McDonald, but the throw was up the line a little bit, and the third baseman Seidler had to go catch it and go try to make that tag. So it's another sacrifice fly for the Vikings to center field. Carson Getty with a run batted in. Second out recorded. Trom scores. McDonald moves up to third. Brings up Sawyer Hess. Takes a strike. He's 1 for 2. A strikeout swinging and a 2-run bombed on the left field line. 4-0 in favor of the Vikings. And here's the set. And the pitch. Fastball hit high in the air to left field. Cadwell is out there. He camps underneath it and makes the catch. And there's 3 outs. But the Vikings strike for a couple of runs at the end of 4 innings. We head to the top of the 5th inning. It's 4-0 in favor of the Vikings on yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And we're back. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 4-0. Vikings got 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th.
And we'll invite everybody to stick around after the game for the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. For any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com.
Jack McDonald will take the mound again for the top of the 5th inning. He'll face a 7, 8, 9 hitters. The catcher, Jace Baumgartner. Right fielder, Zainer Deutsch. And second baseman, Camden Schreiber. We're looking at game changer. I don't think it's updated to the correct score as of yet, because they only have Jack McDonald with 1 hit, and he's got 2. He singled up the middle and had a bunt single. So our scoreboard is right in Kindred. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for DGF. Kindred with 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors.
The score, I have 4-0 on game changer.
We were talking about the hits being off.
All right.
Here's a pitch, line drive, base hit into left field for Jace Baumgartner. Hard hit single into left field. 3 hits now for DGF.
Brings up number 31, right fielder, Zander Deutsch.
Zander Deutsch steps to the plate. I think I was saying Zaner before. I don't know why I was saying that, because I miswrote it down. Zander Deutsch. The batter, he's 0 for 1. He popped out to short his first time up, throw over first base. Deutsch is spelled D-E-U-T-S-C-H. Pronounced Deutsch. Of course, his nickname is Dutch. Here's a pitch, is a fastball away, ball 1. That according to his head coach, Al Kruger. Kind of a natural nickname. Here's a pitch, fastball is in there, strike 1. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, hit high in the air to center field. Baumgartner's there. He camps under it, makes a catch, 1 away. Fairly hard hit ball. We'll call it a fly ball into center field for the first out. Camden Schreiber steps up. He walked his first time up. 1 down, runner on first. And here's the set. And the pitch, fastball in there for a strike.
And they do have a pitcher warming up over in their bullpen.
Here's a pitch from McDonald. Looked like a slider in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order in Alex Anderson on deck. Here's a foul ball over the screen on the first base side, or against the screen.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not coming this way yet. I put the cameras out a little further than normal so we can give people a better look down that right field line. So
here's the 0-2 set, and the pitch is a ground ball over towards third. Stone fields it, fires across the diamond in time. Bernier is there to make the catch, and it's a 5-3 put out for out number 2. Baumgartner, I should say, moves up to second base. Back to the top of the order, Alex Anderson. He's 1 for 2. He popped out and singled. Alex Anderson had an action field defensive stint in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 sacrifice flies to him. He almost completed a double play Almost threw McDonald out at third base, made a stellar throw. First pitch to him is over for a strike. 2 down, runner on second base. 4-0 lead for the Vikings. Here's a pitch, fastball is up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed hitter, Alex Anderson. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Jack McDonald on in relief. Kylan Swenson through the first 2 innings. Second inning of work for McDonald is a slider in the dirt, and that'll move the runner up to third base. Sawyer Hess couldn't find it right away, but he found it, and Baumgartner will be over at third base. It's a wild pitch.
Take care of the batter and you're good.
3 balls and a strike to the right-handed hitter. Dylan Anderson is on deck. And here's a pitch, fastball, he missed. Ball 4. Runners on first and third with the 2 outs. Dylan Anderson, the first baseman, he walked his first time up, was thrown out stealing, and he grounded out back to the pitcher to end the third. Runners on first and third. Let's see if DGF tries to get some runs scored here by putting the runners in motion. Here's the set by McDonald. And the pitch, off speed, misses away, ball 1. No runs on 3 hits and 1 error for DGF. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Vikings. Here's the set, here's the pitch, fastball, runner goes, throw, not cut off, goes all the way through, but Alex Anderson, pretty speedy runner out there, he's the center fielder, he steals second base. Very tough pitch for Sawyer Hess to handle it. I believe it went behind the hitter. Made a nice throw down there, but tough pitch to handle. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Landon Johnson on deck.
Get a strike here.
Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. He walked him. Bases are loaded. And that brings up Landon Johnson. He's 0 for 1. He popped up and hit into a double play.
And then Mr. Elmaris is, Coach Elmaris is headed out to the mound to talk to Jack in his old infield a little bit.
Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Vikings. I think Elmaris is going out there not to make a pitching change, to kind of work through this with his infield and talk about a few things. Vikings do lead it by a score of 4-0, but tying run is at the plate in Landon Johnson.
We will mention to everybody, too, that the storms that went through the other night over by Enderlin, some of our FFA kids from Kindred are going out tomorrow to help clean up a little bit over there out in the fields, clean up some of the debris from the destruction of those storms that went through the other night. And I know all of Kindred, speak on behalf of them, they've had a lot of help go over there to our neighbors over in Enderlin.
Yeah, happy to help out, and great gesture by the FFA club.
Yep, and we have a few. Andy Traum, big in FFA when he was going to high school at Kindred, and Kyland, also a big help in FFA as well. So going over there, some of those Vikings headed over to our neighbors in Enderlin to help clean up where they can tomorrow. So, and I know they were asking for more volunteers too, so if that interests anybody, you can follow the Kindred FFA on Facebook, and there's more information there for everybody.
And in Johnson, the batter, he's 0 for 1, like I said. He has popped up and walked. Here's a pitch from McDonald. Breaking ball over, strike 1.
Work hard. Good mix, good match, good pitch.
4-0 lead for the Vikings, trying to hold on to that lead. DGF is threatening. Post 397. Here's a pitch. Fastball laced up the middle. Diving stop by Belaski. Flips to second base. They will not get the run. Here's another run coming to score. And Max Bernier and Andy Traum kind of collide. Nowhere to get the runners. But Belaski dove and knocked that ball down. He tried to get the runner at second base. So it'll be an infield, a line drive single for Landon Johnson and an RBI. That scores Baumgartner. So that run is earned. Alex Anderson will come across and he'll score on the error by Belaski. Dylan Anderson moves up to third. Landon Johnson stays on first. So runners on first and second. 2 runs score on the play and makes it 4-2 in favor of the Vikings. So great effort by Stanley Belaski. It was a hard hit ball. He dove, tipped off his glove, knocked it down, and he tried to get himself up. A lot of things going on there. His hat, his sunglasses flew off. And
tried to get it over to Andy at second, but missed a little bit. So Max headed over to help, and a little bit of confusion about where to go and where everybody was running at that point.
Pitches a breaking ball down. So an RBI single for Johnson, and the other run, Alex Anderson scores on the error. Here's a 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball up. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's a 3-0 set. And the pitch, fastball in there, strike 1.
And runners at first and third.
A lot of defense out there.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball is away. Throw down to second base, but the batter walked, so there was no need to throw it down. So Landon Johnson gets second base anyway. Hoover was a batter. I don't think I mentioned that. Wes Hoover. He was 0 for 2, and now he's drawn a walk. That'll bring up Kaysen Berge. He's 1 for 2. He popped up and singled. So the base is loaded again.
And Kindred did have another pitcher warming up out in that bullpen. I believe it was Kelby warming up.
Deep breath, refocus, go get him.
Pitch is up and in, ball 1. And here's the set. Pitch, fastball up, 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the set. And the delivery. In there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. And here's a 2-1 set, and the pitch, off speed, is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack McDonald trying to work out of this.
Getting lots of encouragement from his dugout right now.
And the pitch, off speed, is pounded out towards the shortstop. Belaski can't come up with it. Not 100% sure he would have had a play over at first base, but I think we're going to call it an E6. E6, no RBI.
And Coach Almaris is headed out to the mound with Kelby in tow. So it looks like a change.
Dylan Anderson does score. And like Wendy said, we'll have a pitching change. 4-3 lead for the Vikings, and we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll take a break and tell you all about it when we come back on yourliveevent.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And we're back. We have a pitching change. Kelby Erdman comes on to pitch. Looks like he'll bat in the 7th hole. Dylan Stone.
Jack's going over to third.
Dylan Stone will come out of the ball game, and Jack McDonald will move from pitcher to third base. So Kelby Erdman on to pitch. McDonald responsible for the runners on base. So far, McDonald, he threw 1 2/3 innings, allowed the 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 4, struck out 1, but again responsible for the runners on base. Erdman starts off the batter, Tanner Cadwell, with a breaking ball in there for a strike. Cadwell is 0 for 2. He's flown out and struck out. Here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball is up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded again for DGF. They've put 3 runs up in the top of the 5th inning. And here's a pitch. Fastball pounded foul. Strike 2. And here's a pitch. In there. Called strike 3, and Erdman works his way out of the inning. And the Vikings salvage the lead here. But DGF does come up with 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning to make it a 4-3 ball game. Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Baseball Field on this beautiful night as the Vikings are taking on DGF.
And we're trying to figure out the defensive changes. We do have a new pitcher. It's the left fielder, number 1, Tanner Cadwell, will come in to pitch. The pitcher, Landon Johnson, the starter, he moves over to shortstop. Now we're getting the changes here from the umpire, Josh Michelson. Well, we'll figure out the changes here, as the new pitcher will be Tanner Cadwell, like we mentioned. The pitcher, Landon Johnson, moves out to short. I believe number 23, Brad Serreris, comes in to play, but I'm not sure where he's playing.
17 is shortstop.
Okay, Kaysen Berge, the shortstop, moves over to third. That makes some sense.
The pitcher is number 1, Tanner Cadwell, and your batter is number 0, shortstop.
Either way, Cadwell will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. It'll be Stanley Belaski, Kylan Swenson, and Max Bernier. Vikings clinging to a 1-run lead. It's 4-3, bottom of the 5th inning. Stanley Belaski, the batter, he's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Check swing, he didn't go around. 2 balls and no strikes. Stanley had a great effort on a line drive single by Johnson. He dove and knocked it down, almost came up with a catch. In desperation, trying to get the out at second base, threw it a little bit wild, so he gets charged with an error. Here's a pop-up on the left side of the infield. New shortstop, Landon Johnson, over there makes the play. And it's a pop-up for out number 1, and that brings up Kylan Swenson. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for DGF. Kindred with 4 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Here's a pitch from Cadwell. Fastball is up. For Landon Johnson, he goes 4 innings, allows 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, walked 3, and struck out 4. Unfortunately, he didn't walk a 4th batter, so I could say he had all 4s across the board. Just so my OCD can handle that. So 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 3, struck out 4. Here's a 2-0 set and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards the hole. Landon Johnson has it, fires across a diamond in time, and it's a 6-3 put out, and quickly there's 2 away.
Number 7, first baseman, Max Bernier.
That'll bring up number 7, first baseman Max Bernier. He's 0 for 2. He struck out looking and grounded out. Cadwell looks in, gets a sign from his catcher. Here's the set, and the pitch, swing and a line drive into shallow left. That's down for a base hit, Max Bernier. First pitch swinging, laces a single into left field, and he's 1 for 3. That'll bring up Kelby Erdman. He is batting in the 7th hole. Dylan Stone did exit the ball game. So Kelby batting, getting his first plate appearance, coming on in relief, and what a job by Kelby. He works out of that bases loaded jam in the top of the 5th inning and works out of it.
Yeah, he was very excited.
Here's a pitch, off speed, misses up. 1 ball, no strikes. Andy Trom is on deck. Six hits now for the Vikings. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball laced up the middle, base hit, hard hit single for Erdman. And runners at first and second with 2 down.
Number 10, second baseman, Andy Brown.
Yeah, Kelby's bringing some energy tonight. That's a lot of fun to see. He was very excited after that strikeout.
That ball was hit very hard. Now it looks like we'll get a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Again, you can get courtesy runners for the catcher and the pitcher. It's going to be number 4, Graham Hess will come on to courtesy run.
Courtesy running at first for the pitcher will be number 4, Graham Hess.
Andy Trum, the batter. He's lined out hard to right field, walked and scored a run back in the 4th. Jack McDonald is on deck. 4-3 lead for the Vikings, bottom of 5. Here's the set and the pitch from Cadwell. Fastball, hit his bat, foul ball, strike 1. Again, he didn't mean to do it. Kind of a check swing. Fastball up and in, and it hit the barrel of his bat. Goes foul, strike 1. Here's the set and the pitch from Cadwell. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. 2 hits in a row for the Vikings after 2 down. Hess on at first, Bernier on at second. Here's the 0-2 set and the pitch, fastball, swing, and a miss, he got him. Vikings are down, they come up with no runs, couple of hits, leave 2 runners stranded. At the end of 5, heading into the top of the 6th inning, Vikings lead at 4-3 on yourliveevent.com.
Or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Kelby Erdman takes a mound again for the Vikings, top of the 6th inning. Vikings lead at 4-3. What a job by Kelby Erdman. Comes on with the bases loaded. After a couple of hits, couple of errors, Kelby Erdman comes on and faces the pitcher, Tanner Cadwell, and strikes him out looking. He'll face a 7, 8, 9 hitters, Jace Baumgartner, Xander Deutsch, and Camden Schreiber. First pitch to Baumgartner. Baumgartner is outside, ball 1. He's 1 for 2, grounded out and singled and scored a run. Here's the 1-0 in there for a strike. Here's the 1-1 set, and the pitch from Erdman. Off speed, grounded hard towards third base. I got to say, base hit. That's a tough error on Jack McDonald.
That DGF coach was just telling the press box, too, that Sierras had moved to left, too, if you want to pencil that one in.
Yes, I did want to do that. So he's number 23, Brad Serreras. Now I think we got all the changes for them. Hard hit single for Baumgartner. That'll bring up Xander Deutsch. He's over 2. Takes ball 1. Camden Schreiber on deck. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Kelby Erdman throwing out of the stretch. Off speed, misses away. Runner goes on a delayed steal, and he's going to reach safely on a stolen base. Kind of a delayed steal. 2-1 the count. And here's a 2-1 set. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Runner on second, nobody out. Here's a set, here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, he got him. Strikeout number 2 for Erdman. And that brings up Camden Schreiber, the second baseman. He's walked and grounded out. 0 for 1 officially. And here's the set and the pitch, swinging a foul ball over the press box. Right over the cameras, set up by Wendy.
I'm a little bit nervous about that tonight. I put him out there a little bit more than usual, but so far so good.
Fortunately, it cleared the press box. Here's the 0-1 pitch, fastball up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I'd bring my glove, but I don't think that would do me any good. These boys hit hard.
Here's the set and the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Erdman attacking the strike zone. Here's the 1-2, off speed. Looked like a fastball, actually. Misses upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 24, Kelby Erdman. Recent graduate of Kindred High School. Here's a 2-2 pitch, fastball in there, strike 3. He got him. Third strikeout for Erdman, and there's 2 down. Back to the top of the order, Alex Anderson, the center fielder, will step up. He's 1 for 2. He popped up, singled, walked, and scored a run. That was back in the 5th inning. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Off speed. Misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. First base is open, so a walk here isn't the end of the world for Erdman. Here's a 3-0 pitch, and he did walk him. And that'll bring up Dylan Anderson.
Alex Anderson does walk and brings up number 9.
Dylan Anderson is 0 for 1. He's walked a couple of times and grounded out. Runners at first and second. 2 down. And here's a pitch. Fastball is in there for strike 1. Dylan Anderson, left-handed hitter, has Landon Johnson on deck. And here's the 0-1. Fastball is outside and high. 1 ball and a strike. 4-3 ball game, top of the 6th inning. Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening.
Great night for baseball. A lot of fun to watch. Here's the pitch. Off speed is in there for a strike.
And only this game tonight. Usually we're here for 2. What are we going to do with ourselves? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Just 1 game tonight.
get home at a normal time.
Right? It's a lot of fun to be here even when there's two, but.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. And the inning is over. Great job by Kelby Erdman. 4 strikeouts. He's gotten all the outs by himself. So after 5 1/2, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Vikings coming to bat. They lead it by a score of 4-3 on yourliveevent.com.
Your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to eliteautomotivecenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Kindred Vikings lead at 4-3. They'll send the 9 1-2 hitters up. It'll be Jack McDonald, followed by Brady Baumgarten and Carson Getty against the relief pitcher, Mr. Tanner Cadwell. Cadwell came on relief last inning. He'll face Jack McDonald. He's 2 for 2. He singled hard up the middle and had a bunt single. So he's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Got a couple of steals as well. Takes ball 1. Looked like an off-speed pitch from Cadwell. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the 2-0 set and the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Big old hack by Jack McDonald. And here's the set and the pitch. Off speed, swing and a miss. Kind of fooled him with a little slower breaking ball there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the 2-2. Fastball down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind still blowing from right foul pole to left foul pole. Here's a 3-2 set. Fastball swinging a ground ball, foul down the third base line. Cadwell gets a sign. Looks in, rocks, fires, fastball up, he walked him. Leadoff walk for the Vikings in Jack McDonald. McDonald has been on all 3 times he's batted tonight. A couple of singles and now a walk. Brady Baumgarten steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He reached on an error, grounded out, and had a sacrifice fly to center field. His last time up, drove in a run. So 0 for 2 with the run batted in. Sacrifice fly, of course, no official at-bat charged. Here's the pitch. Off speed is in there for a strike. McDonald could run. A lot of speed up and down this lineup for the Vikings. The batter, Brady, can run. Carson Getty can run. Steps off, throws over to first base. Not nearly in time. 0-1 count to the batter, Baumgarten. And here's the 0-1 set. Runner goes, pitches up, throw down to second base. Not in time. Another great slide by Jack McDonald. That's 2 times now that he's kind of gone inside the second base bag and slid head first and touched that bag with his right hand. So the 3rd stolen base for Jack McDonald of the evening. 1-1 is the count. And here's the set. And the pitch. Baumgarten swings away, fouls it off. Looked like an off-speed pitch. I think Cadwell changes speeds well. Looks like he's got some of the hitters off balance on occasion with that slow breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a pop-up towards the pitcher. It's in fair territory. Cadwell, the pitcher, makes the catch. Baumgarten, a little confused as to how that ball went fair. He thought it went foul.
Not quite sure what he did and how that happened, but.
So pop out for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Carson Getty, who's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He has 2 singles to show for it and a sacrifice fly. Has a run scored. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. Sawyer Hess on deck. 4-3 lead for the Vikings. Bottom of 6. 7-inning, no counter game. A lot of fun to have you with us. Here's the pitch. Off speed, check swing by Getty. He went around. Strike 2.
Just that moment mid-swing when they must just realize it's not quite what he wanted to have happen.
It's too late to pull back. 0-2 the count. Here's the set and the pitch from Cadwell. It's a fastball in there, strike 3. Getty goes down on strikes. He didn't like it. That'll bring up Sawyer Hess. Sawyer is the catcher in tonight's ball game, so he's got to take off the old shin guards there. He's 1 for 3. He struck out in the first. Big 2-run home run down the third base line for a home run, and he flew out to left field in the fourth. 4-3 lead for the Vikings. Runner in scoring position for Sawyer Hess. And the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Sawyer Hess wears number 3. Cadwell looks back at the runner on second base, kicks and fires, off speed, fouled away. Sawyer had a pretty decent hack at that slow curveball, but fouled it straight back.
Yeah, that pitch is coming in handy for this pitcher tonight.
Keeping the hitters off balance, messing up their timing. Here's the 0-2 delivery from Cadwell. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. He got him. Got him on strikes, and that ends the 6th inning. Vikings do come up with a hit, but they strand a runner at the end of 6 complete. We head to the top of the 7th inning. 4-3 lead for the Vikings on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Kelby Erdman back in the mound for the Vikings. He's facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Landon Johnson, Wes Hoover, and Kason Berge. It's a 1-1 count from Erdman. Here's the 1-1. Foul ball over the press box. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count. Landon Johnson, starting pitcher, now playing shortstop. He's 1 for 2, pop-up, walk, and a single. Here's a ground ball pounded out to short. Tough hop for Belaski, and he can't come up with it. And Landon Johnson is going to reach on an error. That'll bring up Wes Hoover. He's 0 for 2. He flew out, hit into a double play, and walked. Third error on the night for Belaski. Johnson on at first base. Erdman looks on. Fastball down low. Ball 1. Erdman came in a tough spot. Had the bases loaded. Struck out the batter. He struck out the side in the 6th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for DGF. Kindred with 4 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. Kason Berge on deck. Here's a 1-1 set, and the off-speed pitch is in there for strike 2. Erdman attacking the strike zone tonight. Looking to work out of this jam. And here's the pitch. He steps out. The batter does step out of the box. Erdman back on the rubber. Kicks and fires off speed, is laced foul down the first base line.
Right in front of my camera, that one was.
Kind of a late, hard swing by the batter. It was an off speed, and he decided to take a hack to protect the plate, and he did so and fouled it off. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, got him. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate. 5 strikeouts for Kelby Erdman. First out of the inning, runner on first, brings up Kason Berge. He popped up in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th, reached on an error in the 5th. So he's 1 for 3. Started out at shortstop, he's now playing third base. Takes strike 1. Press box up here calling for the old 6-4-3 double play. Runner goes, throw down to second base. Not in time, he steals second. So that erases the chances for that 6-4-3 double play for the time being. Pitch was a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike the count to the batter. Tanner Cadwell on deck. Tying run aboard. Here's the set, here's a pitch, off speed, chopped over towards third. McDonald has it. Fires across the diamond in time for the out as Max Bernier. The throw was up the line. Max went over and caught it and tagged the runner coming down the line. So it's still a 5-3 putout. Second out recorded. The first out that Erdman has recorded, that wasn't the strikeout. So 2 down, brings up Tanner Cadwell. The throw was up the line a little bit for McDonald. Max came off the base, made the play. And here's a high fly ball into right field. Getty's got it. Kindred Vikings win it by a score of 4-3. Fly out to right field ends the ball game. And what a job by Kelby Erdman. He comes on with the bases loaded and works his way out of the jam and completes the save as the Vikings win this one by a score of 4-3. We'll come back for the Todd Wold CPA postgame show after this on YourLiveEvent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and RJBroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Great game, great baseball game tonight on yourliveevent.com. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening, and this is the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. For any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com.
Well, the Kindred Vikings got the scoring started with a 2-run home run by Sawyer Hess in the bottom of the third inning, and they would capitalize on a couple of sacrifice flies in the fourth inning to make it 4-0 at that point. However, DGF would strike back with a couple of hits and a couple of walks, helped out by an error or two in there, and they dropped 3 runs on the Vikings in the top of the fifth inning. Kelby Erdman comes on in relief of the pitcher Jack McDonald, and he promptly strikes out Tanner Cadwell. Strikes him out looking, and the Vikings go on to win this one by a score of 4-3. So a very pivotal moment in that ball game. And again, Kelby Erdman comes on to strike out the batter. For the Vikings, the starting pitcher was Kylan Swenson. He goes 2 innings, allows 1 hit, no runs allowed, walked 2 and didn't strike anybody out. Jack McDonald will come on in relief and actually pick up the win. He went 1 2/3 innings. Allowed 3 hits, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 4 and struck out 1. Kelby Erdman earns a save. He goes 2 1/3 innings, allows a hit, no runs allowed, walked 1 and struck out 5 batters in the 2 1/3 innings as the Vikings come away with a win. For the DGF post 397, their starting pitcher, Landon Johnson, goes 4 solid innings, allows 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 3, struck out 4. Tanner Cadwell comes on in relief and does a nice job, did a very good job of keeping the Viking hitters off balance. He goes 2 innings, allows 2 hits, allows no runs, walks 1, and strikes out 3. Offensively for the Vikings, it looks like this. Carson Getty goes 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Sawyer Hess with that 2-run home run. He's 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer. Max Bernier added a hit, so did Kelby Erdman on a hard line drive single up the middle. And Jack McDonald was 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. For DGF, Alex Anderson was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Landon Johnson was 1 for 3 with a run batted in. And Kaysen Berge was 1 for 4, and then Jace Baumgartner was 2 for 3 with a run scored, and that rounds out your offensive stats for this ball game, Kindred Vikings win it by a score to 4-3, and we're going to have our Enbridge player of the game coming up.
Yep. Enbridge, life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
And we're live back with the Enbridge player of the game. It's none other than Kelby Erdman. Kelby, big win for the Kindred Vikings tonight in this non-counter game against DGF. A little redemption from the Sioux Falls trip.
Yeah, it was great to come back. I saw him in Sioux Falls, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was at the Dakota Classic. We faced DGF, and it didn't work out for us very well. We lose by a score of 13-1, but we come back here into Kindred, and we get the win by a score of 4-3. You come on with the bases loaded. That was back in the 5th inning, and the bases were loaded. There was 2 outs, and you come on and strike out that batter looking. How did it feel tonight? What was working for you?
I'm going to be honest, the curveball was working phenomenally. I started off right in that 5th inning, started off with a curveball, and it just went off from there. I just started dicing.
You faced, I don't know how many batters, but you pitched 2 1/3 innings work. You get the save. And it was a big save, too, because you came in with that bases loaded. Things were kind of going downhill for the Vikings, but you came on and struck out that batter, got out of that inning, and you come up to bat the next inning and promptly lace a hit to straightaway center field. How did that feel at the plate tonight?
Felt great. I knew I was going to get my pitch, so I just went up there and I swung it.
Yeah, well, Kelby Erdman is the player of the game. Again, he goes 2 1/3 innings work, allows only the 1 hit, no runs, walks 1, and strikes out 5 batters over the course of 2 1/3 innings. So you're the Enbridge player of the game. Great win for the Kindred Vikings tonight, and it's been fun watching you over the years, Kelby. So
that was sweet.
Any shout-outs to anybody out there? Here's
I got
your
to
chance.
shout out Trom. I mean, he always kept my head up, and same with Dylan and Brady. They were always first person in the dugout. I was always getting high fives from them. So
that's awesome.
Sweet.
Your teammates picking you up, and the Kindred Vikings come away with a big team win.
Yeah.
What was everybody's reaction to Sawyer's big home run down the
Oh,
left
it
field
was
line?
sweet. I mean, I yelled bye ball as soon as it was hit. I knew it was gone. The kid's been struggling, so it's great he's getting the bat going. So
yeah, that was a big home run, and that got the scoring started for the Vikings. So the Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 4-3. Kelby Erdman is your Enbridge player of the game. Congratulations, Kelby.
Thanks.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search Your Live Event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Well, welcome back, everybody. To the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. And we still have the HTC connection of the match. Discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone. It's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com.
And we got to go with Mr. Sawyer Hess, the starting catcher for tonight's ball game. He goes 1 for 4, but that one hit got the scoring started. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Carson getting on at first base after Carson collected his 2nd hit of the night. Sawyer Hess bombs one deep to left field down the left field line for a 2-run home run. That's your HTC connection of the game.
Yes, and then just a real brief rundown of what's yet to come this week. All the baseball. Legion A is back here on Thursday. They have a double header against the Fargo Jets, so that one does count, and we need you out here in the stands. It kicks off at 5:30. Come see some great baseball on Thursday night. Also Thursday, Legion B is headed out to Bismarck, and then they're going to move over to Jamestown for Friday, so they will be out of town. Babe Ruth right here tomorrow night, or they will be at Lidgerwood tomorrow night for Babe Ruth, and they're home on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, they kick off things off at 6 o'clock, and Friday, Hankinson will be in town. So at 6 o'clock, watch some Babe Ruth baseball. But the big one that counts, this Legion A team, home for a doubleheader against Fargo Jets this Thursday at home. So we hope everybody will come out and watch them and cheer them on.
Absolutely. What a night. And the Kindred Vikings come away with that 4-3 victory. And that'll end our broadcast. Thanks, everybody, for watching on yourliveevent.com.